Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14. I am the Mysterious JG. We are close to destroying Liu Bei, who is a upstart weaver of mats and sandals, who is claimed to be a descendant of the Han. We have executed his sworn brothers. There is no doubt in my mind, as the forces close in on Xiaopi. Liu Bei is bedridden, having wept himself to poor health. I mean, this is, there's different versions in different cultures of what is manly. And in Chinese culture, it is not considered unmanly, at least in, the Chinese culture at this time. It wasn't considered unmanly to weep during difficult emotional times. As a matter of fact, a big deal was made out of, the retainer who wept the most sorrowfully and showed the most emotion after the death of a lord was, that was a good thing. They were a better retainer than another one might be. But yeah, Liu Bei, upon the death of, in the actual novel, in real history, I don't know how Zhang Fei dies. I think Guan Yu's death is, other than the fact that, like, his spirit comes and possesses Lu Meng, his ghost enters Lu Meng's body and destroys him and all that kind of nonsense. I think there's more or less some historical accuracy that battles for... Where would Fan Castle be? Fan Castle would be... I'm not sure. I don't want to waste a lot of time trying to figure this out. I'm confused now. The actual fights, it was this region here that belongs to Liu Biao now. Is where, ultimately, he was fighting for control of this area is what really led to the falling out between Sun Quan and Liu Bei. So I want to say that over here somewhere is... these are the areas that Guan Yu would have been attacking Cao Ren, who might have had a castle around here somewhere. And then when Wu came and attacked him from behind and killed him, is when he died. And it was during a struggle, three-way struggles between the armies for this general region here is when... yeah, Fan Castle doesn't seem to be marked here as a village. Interesting. Or I'm just way, way off on where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, but this is where... That's how Guan Yu dies. Zhang Fei in the novel dies. His own men kill him when he's going into these drunken rages demanding the impossible as they put together the army that's supposed to go out and attack Wu and get revenge for Guan Yu. And Zhang Fei is like... He wants his armies to be wearing the traditional white uniforms of an army that's in mourning, and he wants them to be wearing these uniforms when he goes out and destroys Shu, or Wu rather. And he doesn't want to destroy Shu. He's not even really that responsible for the end of Shu. But yeah, that all goes to shit. But Liu Bei, damn it, it's like no text all day, and suddenly the siblings have a little chat going, which I will mute, but I need to try to remember to unmute later. Yeah, but anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that when they die, Liu Bei, he has his big, he leads the army of Shus out to get the army of Shus. He leads Kurubu's. He has Mario and Luigi, each equipped with Kurubu's Shu, attack Wu. When the armies of Shu are defeated, they retreat, and he basically holds up in a castle. And I guess he dies of consumption, but the way is in the novel, he's dehydrated because he's weeping day and night for the death of his brothers and his own failures, and his health fails and he dies. So I'm pretty sure that's where Liu Bei is now. He's kind of this useless shell of himself. The only mercy we can do him at this point, people are talking in the comments like, oh, because of the flawed friend system in this game, you can probably still recruit him, and that's true. And they also said a lot of officers are really going to hate you if you kill Liu Bei, and that's true too. But at this point, the game is not being difficult enough that I feel the need to, occasionally, like with hiring Cao Cao, I was able to come up with a, not lore exactly, but a you know, a story consistent way, Yuan Shu might be willing to work with Cao Cao as a subordinate. I don't see any way that Yuan Shu is not going to kill Liu Bei and his cohort. And the game is not being difficult enough that I need to, like, come up with some tricksy, false, hobbitsy reason to bring him on board, even though he really shouldn't be working for us. The game is just not being difficult enough that I need to do that. So, yeah, we're going to kill Liu Bei. But at this point, the only kindness we can do him is to kill him before the fall of the Han. And that's also coming. That's coming soon, brother. Because despite good advice from people in the comments, just call me Liu Zhang, because my advisors are giving me good advice and I'm ignoring them. They're saying, don't worry about Li Jui. He's not a real threat. Let that stay and concentrate on taking out Yuan Shao and Gong Xingzan. Well, let me tell you something. Neither of them are a threat either. We steamrolled through the forces that were a threat. The only force on the map that had the potential to be a threat is not on its last legs is Sun Ce, and I'm keeping Sun Ce alive because of my own storyline in my head. My own headcanon for Yuan Shu is that he still thinks Sun Ce is a subordinate to him. And so that we'll have something to do at the end of the game other than just a slow, boring steamroll over Liu Zhang, who's going to be the last to fall just because the geography makes it such a pain in the ass to take his territory. But, yeah, I'm not worried about these guys. And Yuan Shu, I think he wants his brother to be alive so he can stick it in his face when he becomes the emperor. And he already is the emperor, but when he well and truly destroys the Han. Now, the thing is that if we take Chang'an, I believe we usurp the throne from the emperor. But in real history, like, the emperor became like the Prince of Chenliu or something. Like, he's given a title. He's not executed. Cao Pi makes him step down. Or Cao Pi has him step down and offer up the throne. And then he goes off with some attendants and he lives out the rest of his days as just, you know, a lesser lord. Yuan Shu, I don't think is going to execute him either. But the question is, if they want, like, couldn't somebody still, theoretically, defeat Yuan Shu and then reinstate the Han Emperor? And the answer is, I'm not really sure how that would work, because the game is going to treat it like the Han is gone forever. But I feel like if Yuan Shu has no reason to put the Emperor to death, I don't think he's going to do that. But he would, yeah, that the Emperor should still be alive. But the game, he's not a character in the game. He's not an officer in a force. It's a concept. So it'll be interesting to see how things go. All right, well, I've got like 23 orders. I'm picking up a new recording session here, so that must mean I have some domestic stuff that we could do? Or did I just not have... Did I just not have anything to do? Like, have I already got people off searching, but there's not enough officers for us to do that much searching? That's a possibility. Looks like the cores are all working on something that it makes some reasonable semblance of sense for them to be working on. There should be a menu way for me to do this, just looking at charts. There's a lot of quality of life things that are wrong in this game. Apparently they get fixed in... I mean, I thought I was running the DLC. I actually bought a fucking second copy of this game, a digital copy, because I stupidly, it was my own fault. I think I've talked about this before. I put the European version of this on my wish list, because it just had an Amazon page. Somewhere in the fine print it said it was the European copy. It's a region-locked copy, so the DLC wouldn't work, and I just had to, like, fucking, you know, I was like, well, I guess Koei, my sister bought it for me for Christmas, thank you, sis, and now I'm buying it for myself again, because I sent you a link to the wrong version. I mean, did we already do reward? It looks like we probably already did reward. Did we already do suggestions? Yes, we already did. I think I just don't have anything to do with all these Oh, you know what? I probably got a bunch of people who could learn skills. Wei Kang, can you learn anything? Well, I got a bunch of disturbed tomes. Rain of Arrow tomes are really starting to pile up. This guy will never ever be in war. Well, he doesn't have the worst stats ever, but we're basically just throwing these around to gain fame. There's going to come a point where we've maxed our fame and it doesn't matter, like, at all. Wow, you've got a lot of skills that you've learned. I think you were the top of my list. I don't understand how this list is set up, but this guy's he's been sent to school. He's learned a lot of skills that he will. As a guy with 33 leadership and strength of 26, he will never, like, something is wrong if he's leading a unit in combat. But Yan Pu, he's got terrible stats. Oh, actually, his domestic stats aren't too bad. I wonder what his deal is, because he looks like he's Mr. Military Helmet Man. But he's actually got a much better non-military stat. Intelligence is a stat that works for military, but... Alright, Mr. Military Helmet Man. We will have you learn this. Well, I don't have a bunch of people dispatched. Yeah, he's learned a lot, so he'd be great at conducting searches. But he's also already an overseer. Training overseer, and that's it. I think I just ended the last turn probably telling everyone that I wasn't going to waste a bunch of time with trying to do searches. I'm starting to believe that is what happened at the end. Interesting. Here, I don't even have training overseers who are available. Usually it's just the training. I'll get to the point where it's just the training overseer. Fine, you know what? We won't do it. We're just going to... I obviously already went through and did some kind of a domestic term because we've already listened to... I guess I can check Goodwill. Is somebody on their way to butter up Sun Tzu this month? Somebody's already on their way to butter up Sun Tzu. Now, we could try to befriend Kong Rong, just to save ourselves, because, you know, if, what's his name, Zhang Lu and the Five Pecks of Rice sect surrendered, Kong Rong might be willing to surrender Beihai without a fight, but I think it'll take more time, and certainly more gold, to get him to surrender than it will be to just roll over him. I was just kind of hoping that we could avoid having to march a bunch of troops out. But, you know, GFP and Xiaopei, we'll just march out of there, take them out. We'll keep Puyang stocked so that it's not being threatened by anybody up to the north. What are your orders? You are taking out a camp because it was getting on my nerves. Puyang needs to be built up. And yeah, these cities, I'm assuming that because I destroyed them with catapults, their economies got wrecked, so we need to get them going because they're good cities that are currently not doing that great. Probably, though, Sheiji Mystery is holding up the fall of Liu Bei, but the action is going to be up here. Oh man, I'll lose a lot of territory if anybody takes Cheyenne. But I got a lot of people marching out ready to do battle with Chang'an, so that's probably... Oh no, actually this is where the action is. Now my catapults are here, and you guys are moving into position to defend. So let's see if anybody marches out of Luoyang to try to hold it. hell of a lot going on. Attacking on a lot of fronts at the same time. Colonization should ease the strain of whatever he's talking about. Plague damage in Runan. There are no action reports. Found an inflamed tome. So having that one guy search was worth doing. Conquering Lantian was a trifle. Some income has slightly increased. Yang Gong in disease-struck Runan is wounded. Oh, yuck. This is what the balances are like. Well, I guess Juan should assign somebody to govern this place. It'll end up being, I keep having poor, Genghis Khan come up here because he's got the best conquer land score. Oh, you guys are already overseers. That leaves nobody here. Or we have two things that are really close to being at level 2. Sure, you can work on that. Somebody needs to be in charge of Juan itself. Whoever's best overall at agriculture, other than Genghis Khan. You, who I just moved around. Oh, I'm just wasting so many freaking orders here. Which is fine. Cancel all the orders and start over. Didn't really get anywhere anyway. We will put Genghis Khan in charge here just because he's good at conquest. And then because Juan is the most important overall, we'll put you in charge there. Building agriculture. And for Luoyang, for these other places, it's just going to be whoever isn't already doing something. So you work on commerce. And up here, it has reached its full size. We just literally don't have enough people. Fine, it doesn't get somebody right now. Count on me, Genghis Khan. So it's like a demotion for him, but it's also an area that we really need to have growing. Okay, so now I got all sorts of warriors on the move. Warriors of the world by Marx. That's a Mr. Science here to reference that I don't think I understand myself. Some toy commercial from like the 70s or late 60s, early 70s when Jewel was growing up, most likely. Yes, Chen Li so low development. I don't get it. Alright. People. Reward. We have some frowning faces. We have a frowning face that we're going to give gold to. Nobody else right now. He shall gratefully accept it. Sanctions, suggestions. Release prisoners. Banquet. Banquet. Release prisoners. Burn enemy. Kong wrong. Whatever. None of this is worth it. Commerce, investment. I wonder sometimes if investment, like, I don't think I understand how investment works, but it does seem to stack. It just, they often are recommending it in cities that have no investment. You rarely will you see it go from small increase to moderate increase. But it does seem to stack permanently and be like a thing that is worth doing. Whereas everything else is just increase experience, but like somebody pointed out, it's not as good as it looks because you're spending gold, you're increasing experience, but you're also decreasing the input of the Overseer, because the Overseer is the one who recommended it, so. Shooting Your Mo wants to revitalize Cao Cheng's commerce, but he's breathing smoke while he says so. Ji Haoan has created a small increase in Wei Shi's investment. Submission demand. Kong Rong's not even on the list because he's an enemy. We'd have to get him up to normal before we could do anything, so I don't think it's worth the effort. I think we're better off just taking him out the old-fashioned way and earn it. Somebody's apparently already on their way to butter up. You know, I wonder if we could get Luoyang to submit to us. It's a huge force. He did surrender before his final city was taken. He's kind of historically known for having not fought to the last. But then again, show us Zhang Lu, and he had a lot less. Like he was just known for having not destroyed his storehouses and shit. Induce the governor of another force to go independent. Placate the people and gain control of the area. Decrease the loyalty. We can't decrease the loyalty of prisoners, can we? That would be kind of neat if we could decrease the loyalty of prisoners. Just have the guards start spreading rumor about how, oh, this guy's really being... Hey, did you hear what those guards were saying about Jiao Chan? Like, what they were saying about Jiao Chan? It sounds like Lu Bu has already replaced her with like 4 other hookers. Well, not hookers, but anyway. See, it would be really fun to hire some of these Lu Bu prisoners that we've got. Guojia is it's kind of, I don't understand why he's working for Lu Bu, but he is. He's a planner. We got Du Shi and Yan Shi. Nope. Doesn't look like we can do it with the prisoners. Speaking of the prisoners, we could always try to hire some. I like to check every so often, but the ones that we haven't already hired are pretty much the ones whose loyalty is like maxed out. Yeah, their loyalty is still at 100. I think Lu Lingqi and Jiao Chan will be escaping at some point. What is this guy's deal? Sun Guan's got Forest Warlord and Encouraging, above average but not spectacular stats, and a freaking great helmet. Oh well, how much time have I got left in this video? I feel like I didn't get off to a very rapid start. We've got a few minutes left to try to get something accomplished. Let's see if we can at least get ready to start the next turn. But honestly, unless I start getting into... We got a new tome that we can hand out. Got an inflamed tome. Curious how much more fame we need to level up. It's 15,000 fame. I don't know how many levels. If you're only unlocking one slot per, we'll eventually hit a point where all we're getting is additional orders. I mean, we can unlock all these scheme slots, but I mean, how many of those do we really need? Next one we want to unlock is probably going to be another battle one. But it'll be a while. Alright. There's no place they're recommending we search. You found an inflamed tome last time, so keep looking. See if you can find more inflamed tomes. It's been a bit of a non-event video. We're just marching closer to what should be a couple of fights going on in the next video. Oh, looks like Jinye's got a bunch of officers. I should bear that in mind. I might want to actually figure out if I need to be doing something more with them. Jinye, huh? You guys all got moved. Probably all got moved. These might be garbage officers who were gathered when I ran out of people to actually run stuff. Is everything in Jinye got an overseer right now? Yeah. Ah. Okay. This job is such a headache. Okay, we'll put them in charge for a while. And eventually may run out of money doing this. There you go. Yeah, let me just check to see if everybody has... Nobody's doing training in Shochun. Probably, again, an officer issue. Or just a money issue. Oh yeah, morale here's gone to shit. But part of that's because they've all been in battle, too. Switch Bobo to... Instead of recruiting, he could be training. But yeah, our morale here has gotten awful. We will have to rearrange some guys here at some point. You're probably not doing very much good there, are you? This is bothering me. I think we need to fix it. On Fang. We will... Okay, this is Maridi. Let's put you in charge over here, because honestly, those are not really our cities. Somebody... It's all going to get messed up and weird eventually anyway, when... Actually, you're not good at this. That's like your weakest area. Still, you're increasing the income just by being there. Why don't you do that? And we'll put Maridi in charge of wherever you are, which is Fuling. Oh, you're probably also working on barracks. Fuck. Ah, whatever. It's fine. Actually, no, let's have you work on commerce. Well, hold on. You're doing 8, but you have to get to 300, whereas here you'd be doing 4. Yeah, whatever. Because eventually, once we take this city, we'll have to rearrange all that stuff, but right now, there's nobody doing training over here either. Oh, probably because we're like out of money. And our morale is also going to shit, though. The city's like out of gold. Gold income, gold expenditure. It shouldn't be out of gold according to this, but again, you got this thing going on where there's some of these numbers are once a month and some of them are that number times 3 equals 1 month. I think we might want to have her doing this, get our morale back, and then we can start recruiting again. Oddly enough, Guanling is going to continue to be a frontline city for a long time because even as we try to maintain an alliance with Sun Tzu, it's right there. So even though we've had it for a long time, even as we expand our borders, it doesn't stop being a city that we need to have some military preparation going on. So all these rich cities continue to have... Oh, there's nobody recruiting in Chenliu either. They certainly have the gold to afford it. It's just a matter of not having enough officers. Alright, you do it. And Feng Kui... Yeah, he does charge a lot a month, but he's really good at it. Feng Kui is... It'll be fine for a little while without an overseer. It's just, that's just gonna have to be. Don't have enough officers to have every place constantly developing. It would be nice, but we don't. You can let training overseers go for a while, but then you just have shitty armies. Here we don't have a recruiting overseer, but we do have a training overseer. Again, is this down to a lack of officers, or is there a different reason? Yeah, John Way should be doing it. Probably ran out of money. Blah. Nope, I meant to go here. Yeah. Got a concentration of officers here. Okay, let's call it a video. If I decide to do any searches, I will do them. I will send some guys, set them up off screen. But we do need to call it a video. I'm the Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.